Here are the top 5 things I love and don't love about my Behmor 1600. I've had my Behmor 1600 for over 5 years now, and I thought I'd commemorate this moment by first sharing 5 things I love about it. Number 1 is price. It's affordable. I bought it used off Facebook Marketplace for $30 and have roasted over 100 pounds of coffee on it. It's paid for itself numerous times versus buying retail coffee. And even if you were to buy it new, you'd still save money over time. Number 2 is simplicity. It's so easy to use. You generally just pick a weight and setting, then hit start. Wait until it hits first crack, and then watch closely for it to get to the desired roast level. For people just starting out with coffee roasting, it doesn't get much more simple than this. Number 3 is visibility. You can see inside pretty easily and get a sense of what's going on. Color is the most important factor when roasting coffee, so being able to quickly open the door and glance in gives me the ability to assess the status and level of development really easily. Number 4 is size. It's compact and easy to fit into a standard cabinet. It's about the size of a standard toaster oven, so it can live on the counter or be stowed away. Yet it's also large enough to roast a pound of coffee, giving me enough for a couple weeks between roasts for my own personal consumption. Number 5 is results. It can produce amazing coffee. And there are people that have won roasting competitions with a Behmor roaster like this one. There's no doubt that if you get the settings right, you can produce great tasting coffee. And here are 5 things I don't love about the Behmor 1600. A quick disclaimer, I have the original version and the latest versions are going to be a little bit different than mine. The first thing I don't love about the Behmor 1600 is bean temperature. There's no way to reliably measure the bean temperature. The coffee's spinning inside of a wire basket, so there's no way to put a temperature probe inside there, meaning it's difficult to know how roasted the coffee beans really are. More recent models have an air temperature sensor, but this isn't the same as knowing what your bean temperature is. Number 2 is sampling. I don't have a way to inspect the beans during roasting. Again, due to the spinning basket, I can't take a sample and look closely at it for color and texture. The dim yellow light also doesn't do us any favors here. It would have been nice to have some means of sampling the beans and checking the doneness. Number 3 is chaff. The chaff collector is not that good. I have to clean out the whole machine really well between roasts or else I might have a fire on my hands. This requires a lot of shaking and vacuuming, and inevitably I get chaff all over my kitchen floor. Number 4 is control. There's not as much control over the variables as I would want. First, I only have the ability to select between 5 different profiles and the total time. I don't really have any manual control over temperature at any point in the roast. Another challenge is that the heat is applied by turning on and off the infrared heating element. When it calls for a lower temperature, it's really just turning on the heat for full blast for a short period of time and then turning it off for a longer period of time, then repeating that cycle every 10 seconds or so. When it's a high temp, it's just on full blast. This on-off behavior is problematic because when you're in the roast phase, it occasionally also turns off the heat at critical times. The coffee beans aren't experiencing consistent heat.
See that? That's a problem.
This is sort of a safety over-temp shutdown feature, but it happens at the most inopportune times.
No, why are you dropping?
My understanding is that this can be mitigated through an upgraded control panel, but the upgrade won't solve my final problem. Number 5 is cooling. You can't cool the beans very rapidly. In fact, when you hit the cool button, the fan spins up and actually increases the temperature inside for about 10 seconds before it starts to decrease. This creates variable outcomes in the roast level of my coffee, often resulting in a roast that's darker than I actually wanted. There's also a lot of stored heat inside the walls of the unit, so when you hit cool, you're really waiting 10 plus minutes for the whole unit to cool down to a point where it won't burn you. Not only does it take a long time, but it's not great for consistency. The door seal is also not great, so sometimes it blows smoke at the end of the roast. In conclusion, the Behmor 1600 is a great home coffee roasting solution, especially for those just starting out. But as I get more serious about coffee roasting and understanding how different variables affect the flavor, I need something with more control and better measurements. Like and subscribe if you want to find out what I'm going to do next.